Hello, greetings. This is me again, Zahra Jawad, ex-Shia, ex-Muslim, truth seeker. And due to my condition, I have to do this. Sorry about the background water sound. If you can hear it, uh, I apologize. So I have to do this due to my condition and not liking debates because I feel that debates are when they arouse the ego, or we have to win or something like this. So I would prefer dialogues, but that even I cannot do due to my health, and I'm slow, and I take time contemplating, shocked even now at some of the Quran verses that I find. As for example, I stumbled on recently against the Ahl Kitab. They have to believe in it, and many Muslims would be maybe like the person I found in Khalil Andani's live stream last night. That they believe that Islam has such a wide connotation, wide meaning, widely spread, in the sense that if you submit to the will of God, being a Christian, Jew, or from any other religion, it means that you are a Muslim. And thus, Islam means that, right? Surrender to the will of God, and that would be that you have peace in your heart. Salim, you are wholesome. I think the word Islam comes from either Salim, wholesomeness, comes from Islam, or Islam comes from Salim, wholesomeness, holy. So so I'm not good at debates or dialogues even, although I prefer much dialogues. And I was also surprised to see that my brother, poor Ismaili, they don't indulge in debates, but this time Dr. Khalil Andani has done this. It's very, very rare. It's extremely rare. Rare as rare can be, I think. So that was some feat to see Khalil Andani in a debate, which I saw later with Jake. Um, so I did not see it live on live stream YouTube. I missed it. And then it keeps going on. But I was there when Dr. Khalil Andani came again with some other person to discuss this debate he had with Jake, and there was a Muslim who accused me of, being opinionated against Islam, and or some other problem I might have, like sectarian. So again, I'm going to say this because there may be some Muslims out there who need help, who need to see that we have misinterpreted and, misunderstood Islam, and how we have been brainwashed to misunderstand Islam. So my thing is based on the Quran ayats first, to see the discrepancies and all that. I don't discuss the scientific errors in the Quran and other errors in the Quran, but my way is to, for all you laymen, you can see it, it's very obvious in the Quran ayats. Still I have these accusations that I might be opinionated, or not might, but that I am opinionated, or that I am in a sectarian problem, or I was a Shia, that's why I could not see it. But that's not the case. I know about the Shias. This Shia stance is stronger than the Sunni Muslim stance, Sunni Islam. Shia Islam stance, I'm not wanting to attack any Muslim personally or anything like that, but I would rather say that, rephrase, saying that Shia Islam has a stronger, much, much stronger stance than Sunni Islam. As I did my research in Karachi many, many years back, I've come abroad to my country. That was my mother's country, and we stayed there in Karachi. I was brought up, and so 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and before that I did my research in maybe early, mid year 2000, right? Between Shia Sunni, about Shia Sunni. And so it all fall into perspective that my Shia Islam is the true religion. I found the ayat Surah Safat that Abraham is the Shia of Nuh, follower from the party of Nuh. Why not? So why not? Why don't the Shias in our majlises, Maharam majlises, explain this and quote this ayat? Excuse me. Because there are many, misunderstandings among the Muslims about the Shias. And they call us kafirs. As when I was a Shia, I noticed they call us infidels and all. So it has, it was extremely tough to go against the Shia side. So I had to do in-depth research, but I got a shortcut. For example, recently when I stumbled on this ayat, by just searching for that ayat that associating partners with Allah is unforgivable sin. So above that or below that, something like this, right? And even my memory is terrible. So please overlook this. But it's in Surah Nisa, and so I stumbled on it that Ahle Kitab, it's, this verse against the verse in Surah Baqarah that all will be saved and they have nothing to fear or grieve, the general verse for the Christians, Jews, Sabians, and the rest of them. So I think that what Sahih International translated as about this verse in Surah Baqarah, that the Christians, Jews, Christians, Sabians will be saved and have nothing to fear or grieve because they believe in Allah and all this, is that the Sahih International states believed before Prophet Muhammad. So I think we have to take it like that. And if since I was taking it in the wrong way, generally misunderstanding it, even as a Quran only, when I was reading it, I didn't look at my Shia commentary on this. So I took it as, that Islam, a Muslim means submission to the will of Allah, and whoever does this is saved. Like the Quran ayah says, who believes in Allah and the last day has no fear and will get the reward. So I think Sahih International translation about this is right, that those who have believed and who were true Jews, Christians, Sabians to their religion before the Prophet came and proclaimed or declared Islam to be the religion. And thus we are told in Surah Maida, verse 3, now that this deen has come, it is a religion, way of life, with the sacred laws. You have to believe in this revelation, this seal of the Prophet. You have to obey him and all this, right? And also in Surah Nisa, ayah 47. The Ahle Kitab means the Jews and the Christians, but it doesn't mention their names specifically, Jews and Christians. It doesn't mention them in that way. It just says Ahle Kitab, which means Jews and Christians. So this, and in my last video, if I've missed anything, which I have, and so piecemeal going through because of my health and my memory and things like that. So I have to complete in this video, in conclusion, perhaps this may be the concluding video of answering to a Muslim who questioned me and who accused me of being sectarian, due to sectarian problem. So let me be slow with this. Those of you who find it quite boring, I'm really sorry, because I can see that even now with the videos I've uploaded, with the explanations I've given in this condition, still there are people questioning me. So there may be others out there, Muslims, who may be questioning and who've made up their minds about me, that I am, due to some opinionated person, she has left Islam. But that is not the case. So I have to keep going on, explaining slowly, showing you the ayats. Here I might edit all this if I can. Let's see if my health allows me, so I can put the verses here as I recite them to you. So sectarian, I felt the Shia stance was again much, much stronger. And that took me many years to, start to leave Islam. Shia Islam was the toughest for me. And I did it because I'm a truth seeker, and I truly am a truth seeker. A religion, you have that security. When I read Jiddu Krishnamurti, I know Jiddu Krishnamurti also says that you will, when I read his books, that you will go back to your religion, your beliefs, because it is such a strong thing, conditioning in us since childhood. And then Imam Hussein's, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad's grand sacrifice in Karbala, very, very tough. I couldn't think that I would be able to do this and not convince you, but make you see the truth. And so you decide on your own if you want to leave Islam, find it a false religion, then you can leave Islam. Another thing is that this book by Madlang, he was a German historian or someone. He wrote about the successorship of Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad. And in his book, I'm told, I didn't read it much, but I read the Wikipedia that is by my cousin who had the book, but I was not given the book. Madlang says that his inclination is towards Imam Ali being the successor after Prophet Muhammad, and not the Sunni side or the Muslim. The rest of the Muslims who believe Abu Bakr was the true successor after Prophet Muhammad. So Madlang's inclination is towards Imam Ali, what the Shias believe in. So that, and he was completely like unbiased, a foreigner, German or someone who I was told, I think, I remember faintly, if not correctly, that he was a German. And I can even now, of course, there's this, I can search, but going fast now, you can search or Google search or any search engine, Madlang, his book on the successorship of Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad. Okay, and now I also will have to explain how the Shia stance again and again is much, much stronger than the Sunni Islam stance anytime. Anytime I'll have to go through all some of the things or all of the things like Surah Safat ayat 83, I think, Abraham was a Shia of Nuh. That means a follower from the party of Nuh, from the group of Nuh, or a Shia of Nuh. So Surah Zumar has groups. It means Surah Zumar. Zumar means groups, I think, or companies. So that's another word for groups. But here we are told Shia of Nuh. And then we're given the clue. And also in Surah Taha, when Allah tells Prophet Moses, Hazrat Musa, right? And now the azan is starting, so I have to just pause it for a little while and then continue. Okay, so I just remembered another turn I've taken. Surah Kaf, the boy with the Moses, his page, his companion. God did not say in Surah Taha, did not state. We are told in those ayats in Surah Taha that you should take your companion, but that you should take your brother Harun. Go both of you, right? So even here, the page or the boy with Moses, his companion, um, is here in Surah Kaf. We are told, but he was not made to go with Moses to warn Pharaoh. So, thus taking these ayats, I can say that the Sahabas of Prophet Muhammad were not supposed to be the successors or caliphs after him, after Prophet Muhammad's passing away. Another ayat I found what man is. So this is a personal thing in Karachi when I was not well, and I was thinking, am I a sinner? What sin have I committed that God has not forgiven me for? So I saw he told me it's Imam Hassan on the side of my bed doing something to me, like trying to heal me. And I asked my Imam, as I was from the 12 Shiyas, so he's my second Imam after Imam Ali, his father. So I asked Imam Hassan if God has forgiven me, and he said, yes, you are forgiven, meaning bakshe tame. Baksh would mean like, the I think I don't know if, anyways, but I think it meant forgiven. So here in Surah Kahf, ayat 55, it says, and nothing has prevented the people from believing when guidance came to them and from asking forgiveness of their Lord, except that there must befall them the accustomed precedent of the former peoples, or that the punishment should come directly before them. So I had to talk about my dream so that you know that I'm not proud or anything. My pride has not come in. Already my Imam has said that you are forgiven. And before even like he would heal me in my dream beside my bed while sleeping, I asked him, am I forgiven? Has God forgiven me? And he said, yes, Baksh. He used the word Baksh. This word may come in Surah Al Imran when I think Bibi Maryam's mother was praying, something like that. I'm not sure. I have to look into this deeper, search for the word Baksh. What does it really mean? But I thought the Imam was communicating that my sins have been forgiven. And we are told that if someone is ill, a Mu'min or a Muslim is ill for 40 days, nights, they are forgiven. Their past sins are forgiven. And so the other verse, continuing from, I just went down and up. You see, man here, it says in Surah, again, Surah Kaf, chapter 18, 54. I'm reading these verses of Surah Kaf. So now I've come to verse 54 following from, and the sinful shall see the fire. Okay, so just skipping some ayats. and then coming here to verse 54. And we have certainly diversified in this Quran for the people from every kind of example, but man has ever been most of them, majority of them, it says, right? This is how Sahih International translates this ayah. Yusuf Ali, let's see, every kind of stuff, but man is in most things. Now this is that one man in most things, human beings in most things are contentious. So, or Sahih International Translation, most of anything prone to dispute. Like we are, always debating and prone to dispute. So please see this, I'm not one of those. I'm a seeker of truth, like Moses was. Even though being a Shia, I had to go deeper into my religion, knowing that the position of the Shias is very, very much stronger than the position of the rest of Islam, schools of thought. Even Imam Jafar Sadiq in the madhabs was from a prophet's grandson, great-great-great-grandson from his Ali Muhammad, from his progeny. So this verse I found that man is contentious in most cases, or that most of mankind, the benefit, every kind of similar, but man is in most, cases contentious. In most things quarrelsome, disputing, contentious, arguing, always arguing. So this is not what I was, actually, and hopefully will never be. I like understanding hearts who understand the situation of people and things like that. So, and 55, and nothing has prevented the people from believing. So this verse, so the previous one was, which I missed and later on brought out here. We have explained in detail in this Quran for the benefit of mankind every kind of similitude, but man is in most cases contentious. So when I find Muslims in most cases contentious, it really shocks me, because we were told as Shias that we should listen and give understanding hearts. That's what I thought. And we're not supposed to dispute. These disbelievers dispute a lot and hardly listen. But I found the Muslims disputing and hardly listening. Don't know why. It's so ironic. Anyhow, so you see the Shia stance is stronger. A position or stance, as I say, is much stronger than the Sunni Islam or any other Islam. Quran only Islam. So this, hopefully just basic things like the Shia, Ibrahim was not a Shia of Allah. Although there's a party of Allah, it's called Hizbullah in the Quran. I can't remember in which surah ayat number. So, some Muslims have come up saying that you should only call on Allah and no one else. And here also in Surah Kaf ayats I found that those who have deities other than Allah and it's all wrong, they have concocted. And so this I could take up for another time, another video. I will be discussing this. And so in conclusion, anything I've missed, any other thing I've missed to say in my past video for that Muslim. So I also went after the truth, like Moses did. searching for the truth, and he found Khizr. You see, here we are told he found a man with ilm laduni, special knowledge from God. So as a prophet, as afterwards he's gone after the truth, Moses. And maybe even after going to Pharaoh and settling all those, making them free, the slaves, the Egyptian slaves of Pharaoh, and so then perhaps afterwards so I have to look at the commentaries now, which is necessary to understand when he went after the truth. So a man came to him, and we are told this man was Khizr. I'm not sure if the name is used, but Khizr means the green one. Here what a man with special knowledge or something like that is used for Khizr, with ilm laduni, special knowledge from God. He tore it open. So anyhow, but I hope you get my point. If I haven't explained it, I'll have to come again properly, trying to find in other words, you know what I mean? So this way, it was very difficult to leave Shia Islam, because we also have the Imams that are with the Quran, along with the Quran. So how am I to tell the Shias? They won't even listen to me. Right? And the grand sacrifice of Imam Hussein, unparalleled in history. That's why I started from the Quran ayats and slowly went like that, finding things, mistranslations, or even the Quran ayats. I couldn't, wasn't satisfactory. Why Prophet Muhammad would. Why would the beauty please Prophet Muhammad now? In Surah Azab, verse 52, we are told. When we were told he helped the widows and all this, and from the spoils of the war, he got these slave girls, which now we can do, the men can do, men can do muta with them. And the Prophet Muhammad practiced muta and all this. But then Umar bin Khattab said no, he cancelled the mutta thing. Something like this in the Sunni hadiths we find, Sunni sources. But here it says what your right hands possess. And so the Shias have done in-depth analysis and research and found out that this means mutta, and it is a temporary marriage. And why these conditions, why what your right hands possess, you can marry temporarily, things like that. So the Shia position again is stronger on this mutta, what your right hands possess, I found in my research. Back to translation problem and ayats, the Quran ayats, which then don't go properly even with my being a Shia, as I was a Shia. So I had to explain that to the Shias to show them how wrong it is. This is a false religion. It was a gigantic thing to do, a very gigantic step to take, because the Shias would not listen. I'll have to make a sacrifice like Imam Hussein, or produce a book like this, when I can't even talk about scientific errors or medical errors in this. So Abdullah Gondal took that gigantic step, I found, and I was like, what a genius and what a courageous person. Abdullah Samir, apostate prophet. But you see, they were all on the side of the hadiths, the Sunni sources and all this, inclining towards that. But I needed more against the Shias, and I couldn't find much. So it was very gigantic for me, although they helped me. And like this person who also guided me, to the course where it says, Islam is such a wide, vast thing. It can save Christians, Jews, without them knowing, because if they've submitted to the will of Allah, then according to their religion, it means they would have no fear, as the Quran ayat says and states in Surah Baqarah. So it was a nice way of guiding me to that, and then I would show you why, and stumbling upon that ayat, that no, I was right when I told this Muslim fellow, in humanity, that you have to believe. Common sense also tells you that you have to believe in Prophet Muhammad after all those contemplations and all. When I had also wrongfully taken this ayat in Surah Baqarah that they will be saved, and that anyone who submits to Allah's will in whatever way, manner, in whatever religion, creed, race they are from, they will be saved. But that's not the case anymore. So you have to look into this matter. Please see this. It is not the case. Surah Nisa ayat 47, I think, states that. It is the command now, otherwise your faces as Christians and Jews you would be effaced. Because Islam will win the day, one day. And you're cursed if you remain a Jew or a Christian, knowing that now Prophet Muhammad has come and this revelation has come. And if you don't pay heed to this, you will be ruined. You'll be finished. So, okay, if I've missed any other point here, have I missed anything else? So please don't be disputing as Muslims, but rather we are told disbelievers, in your own Quran we are told that disbelievers are argumentative and don't see the truth, don't want to hear about it. They start to make noises and all this. So why be like the disbelievers? Be like the believers, right? Who listen, who give her heart and ear and their whole being to listen to this Quran, the revelation sent down. And so many other things I've already put in the video, but this was a nice guidance by a Muslim on Dr. Khalil Andani's live stream last night. So this side I've also covered and found out that from Imam Jafar Sadiq's, going back to my Shia Imam, then the hadiths and sayings of Imam, that Imams, I did not get, I started to also suspect my Imams, and that is another, I think I've uploaded a video on that, so I'll rather now reserve my comments on that and then continue later. So thank you very much, and thanks to the Muslim person on Dr. Khalil Andani's live stream, who asked me certain questions, but also that he guided me to find out that no, what we believed in was not true. We have to believe in Allah and the Messenger, the Christians also, the Jews also, to save themselves, and the Sabians also, if they exist now. Okay, thank you very much. I will continue later if I have to complete something, or I've omitted, or I have made a mistake here. I will correct myself, and you can correct me in the sense that such mistakes, but about the truth, I know that I've seen the truth, that Islam is a false religion. And so that's why I've put there ex-Shia now, because that was the major thing that I had to bring down. That had to crumble down on me. And it has, and it's like the sky falling on me. And the sky has fallen on me, but it keeps the layers still in shock. So thanks to that Muslim man and thanks to everyone. Hope we, after the truth and nothing but the truth, and we see it unbiased, without fear, first academically, scientifically, reading the Quran ayats, and this is how I went, started, and will finish doing so. Thank you so much.